is the farmers' protest. Remember, farmers of India have been protesting for the past week and have been making their way to the national capital. The key reason for the protest has been a demand for a legal guarantee for minimum support price on crops by the government. Farmers argue that their margins can be increased by securing a legal guarantee for MSP. The list of demands also includes pensions for farmers, loan waivers and withdrawal from the WTO, where India continues to face pressures for subsidies that it gives to the farmers. But the main sticking point has been of the MSP. After several rounds of talks with leaders of the farmers' protest, the centre made a proposal and gave 48 hours to the farmers to come back with a response. The proposal, in short, was this: union cooperative societies like the NCCF, or the National Cooperative Consumers Federation, and NAFED, National Agricultural Cooperative Marketing Federation of India, will sign a 5-year contract to buy dal or maize. Under this contract, the above crops will be bought at MSP and there will be no limit on purchase quantities, and a website will also be made. At present, viewers, MSP is offered on 23 crops apart from staples like paddy, wheat, pulses and maize. These include ragi, groundnut, soybean, sunflower seeds, barley, rapeseed and mustard. Essentially, every year the government purchases a quantity of certain product and crops. The list and prices of these are announced before the sowing season. So the purpose is to not only have the farmers the benefit of a minimum return on their investment, but also procure crops for the government's public distribution system. The MSP is the floor price, which means that it is the minimum price at which a crop can be bought in the market. However, the MSPs have no legal backing, which means that the government is not obligated to buy, for example, 10% or 15% of a farmer's paddy crop at this minimum price. And it is this change that the farmers wanted. However, as we're having this conversation, we have now learned some breaking developments have also come in. And the breaking news tells us that the farmers who were given 48 hours to decide whether they're on board for the union government's plan, the farmers' body has now dismissed the centre's 5-year MSP contract offer. The Samyukt Kisan Morcha, the SKM, which was the leader of the farmers' protest, has now rejected this 5-year contract to buy 3 types of pulses, maize and cotton at a certain MSP. They've criticized, in fact, the proposal and said that it is diverting the focal demands of the farmers. This is the news that is coming. We will try to take this conversation forward. With me on the broadcast is Savio of the BJP, Bikramjit Pasi of the Aam Aadmi Party, Sharad Kohli also with us, and Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist, also with us on the broadcast. Let me begin with Savio. Savio, we're learning as we speak that the farmers have now rejected the centre's offer for a 5-year contract. What really is the information that has come your way? What exactly are the bases beyond the farmers saying that this is diverting from the focal issues? What are the crucial reasons, or why do you feel they're saying that this is a diversion from the actual demands?
Well, Devika, as far as what the farmers want to do and whatever they have got planned with their group of people, that is something that they can only answer. The government on its part has to resolve the situation, and which is what the first step the government has taken. We have agreed to buy pulses, maize and cotton for a period of 5 years. We have agreed to sign a contract with them for the period of 5 years. And that was the first talks that's happened. So if the farmers have come back and have rejected it, obviously they have something in their mind that they have to bring on the table. Now, this is, at least I see this as a positive step, Devika, compared to taking out a whole lot of protest and coming out with tractors and trying to do a Chalo Delhi. This is the way you resolve a conflict. You resolve a conflict via dialogue. You resolve a conflict trying to get into an understanding with the government and try and figure out how best you can serve the very people you claim to be serving. So I don't see any problem in this. I think this is the first step of negotiation where they've come in. The government has given them an offer. They don't agree with the offer, so obviously they're going to come back with something else on their mind, and that's where we're going to go forward. It's my appeal to them to look at resolving your conflict through a dialogue rather than taking the protest route, which at most times turn violent and disastrous, not only for them, but for millions of citizens on those roads and on those localities. So, is it something that is unexpected? Their reaction? No, I don't think it is unexpected. I think they will come back. They will have another round of discussions, and the government of India will look into it.
Okay, all right. Savi, I'll come to you in just a moment. In fact, as per some of the information that has come out, the SKM is saying that the centre's proposal this time around is an attempt to dilute the demand for MSP at C2 plus 50% of all crops, which was basically what was given in the Swaminathan Commission report, the basis for deciding the MSP price. And they've said that this was also promised by the BJP in the election manifesto, but has not been implemented till now. Bikramjit Singh Pasi, I'd like to just bring you into the conversation and understand better from you. I'm sure you've read the government's proposal, and now you've also read what the farmers have had to say, why they've rejected this proposal. If you can just help distill it for our viewers better, what exactly is the farmers' issue with this proposal of a 5-year contract?
Devika, the farmers are saying that central government must give legal guarantee on MSP. But the center has proposed that we are going to enter into a contract for 5 years. But entering into a contract is not a legal guarantee. Actually, the center has lost its faith in the minds of farmers, because the entering into a contract is not a legal guarantee. One party.
I thought all contracts are legal.
Legal. Aren't they not?
Legal guarantee. Legal guarantee. Contracts start to be enforced in the courts if one party resigns from its conditions, if one party back out from the contract. This is not a legal guarantee. This is a legal contract. There is a lot of difference between contract and legal guarantee.
So, Bikram Pasi, just like to understand, is the issue then with the language that is being used by the center? And what does then a legal guarantee then mean? What exactly would the farmers want? What really has to be issued circular? Something has to be done in the parliament. What is it that the farmers would want that would assuage their fears of the center not following up on buying the crop at MSP?
Devika, my residence is just 15 kilometers away from Tambu border. And what the farmers are saying, that there must be an amendment in the act. There must be a legal provision, not legal contract. This is their opinion. And second thing is that the center had promised 26 months back that we are going to give you a legal guarantee on MSP. That's why they constituted an MSP committee. But their promise was to constitute a committee in which farmers must have 6 members and 6 members from the government side. But what happened? They said that we are going to get 2 members from the farmer side, and all the other members belong to the government side. The second thing is, the person who was made chairman of the committee, he was in favor of 3 bills against which farmers had a long protest. More than 700 people lost their lives, and he was made the chairman of the committee. And these were the things which created a suspicion in the minds of farmers. Thereafter, our government in Punjab tried its best, and we are sure that we must try again, because the matter should be resolved by talk, not by agitation. First thing is. Second thing is, the center must come for the benefit of farmers. Devika, the farmers are again saying that when you can waive off, you can give NPA of more than 14 lakh crore rupees of the corporates, then why the debt of farmers can't be waived? This is their demand. Now what they are saying, that you are trying to divert the issues. Farmer had stated that we are 10 demands. We are having 10 demands which center must fulfill.
So
first,
what
MSP,
we're saying,
second,
Bikram Pasi, is
waiver.
that until and unless the exact demands, the way they have been laid out by the farmers will be met? They're not going to stop protesting?
The demands, if not exactly admitted, exactly fulfilled, but the center must come near to them. The center must come with a formula which may say that farmers are ready to accept, but not. If you are saying that we are going to enter into a contract is not, and I have already stated, contract is a different thing. But a rule, you can
Can
say
I?
a bill, a
May I?
law is a different thing.
Okay, I'm going to bring
Center
in.
has to
Okay.
pass a bill. Center has to pass
Can I?
a law.
Can I?
Okay, all right. So Bikram Pasi of the Aam Aadmi Party says that it's essentially the lack of a clear formula on which the MSP will be decided. Number one, the farmers want the Swaminathan Commission's formula to be implemented for sure. And secondly, that the center has to give a legal guarantee which cannot be in the form of a legal contract to buy the crop. It has to be in the form of a bill. Yes, Savio, respond to that, please.
Okay, so with my limited legal knowledge, let me explain to my friend from the Aam Aadmi Party who so eloquently highlighted the differences between a contract and a guarantee. The actual legal contract is much more binding than a legal guarantee. Do you know why? Because guarantees are secondary obligations within a contract. The contract becomes the major bone of contention in the court of law. A guarantee, like is also compared to warranty, are secondary obligations. They are not the main focus of a legal contract. So the terminology in legal terms is a legal contract, not a legal guarantee. Now, coming back to changes in the law, that is something for the parliament to take forward. It is not something that's going to happen by people protesting on the road. It has to have a legal framework, and a parliamentary decision needs to be taken in order to bring in the kind of laws that these farmers are protesting for. So the first step in order to bring or resolve the conflict is to agree that there is a legal binding contract which the government has provided to them. They have said that they're going to buy those the pulses, the maize and cotton for 5 years on a legal contract, and there is no stipulation to the quantity. I don't understand where are you getting lost in translation. You might have your reasons, unless your reasons are something else and not to resolve the conflict.
Okay, all right. I've heard both the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. I want to bring in Sharad into the conversation. Sharad, when you read what was it that was offered by the central government, do you feel that maybe somewhere it is in fact getting lost in translation? What is it that the farmers want? What is it that the center is proposing? Because we've seen that happen with the farm laws as well. There was a whole slew of people who said that the farm laws will in fact be great for farmers, but the farmers did not budge. They said absolutely not.
Well, thank you, Devika. See, the farm laws were meant for a permanent solution, which I think, unfortunately, the farmers did not understand, and they probably had a very short vision in looking at the farm laws. Now, a part of me is a lawyer as well. I'm a lawyer by qualification as well. So I think out of the panel sitting here, I would be able to, convince the learned spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party that contracts are signed on the Indian Contract Act. And breach of contract is a punishable crime. I think he needs to know a little bit of law to know what contracts are. Obviously, framing a law altogether is different from framing a law. There's no doubt about it. A law is framed, as Savio rightly said, it's framed in the parliament, or the government takes out an ordinance which is later on ratified, signed by the president, ratified by the parliament. We know how the ordinance works. But then having a contract, and that too for crops which are commercially more yielding, we talk of dal, we talk of maize. These are expensive crops, and why government focus on these crops was because farmers were talking of diversification of their farming spectrum. So I think when the government has come up with this proposal, at least a beginning should have been made. See, I've been saying this from the beginning, Devika. Farmers, if they want just tick marks to all their demands, I mean, I'm an economist. I understand country's balance sheet. I understand the fiscal limitations. I mean, out of the 47 lakh budget that we had recently, the interim budget which was presented on 1st of February, if 10 lakh crores for the 23 crops, if that goes into buying crops, I mean, what happens to the capex? What happens to the other government expenditure? What happens to defense? What happens to education? What happens to health? What happens to everything else which happens in the country? How will that happen? So I think the farmers, somehow they need to understand that you should demand something which is feasible, which is fiscally feasible. I'm taking out a new term today. It is not fiscally feasible. And look at the timing now. The parliament has ended the term. Obviously, they want an ordinance now, or probably they are dreaming of having a special parliamentary session being called for this when the rest of all the politicians are busy with elections. The elections are around the corner. I think that, first of all, the timing of the demands is wrong from two perspectives. One, because the parliament has ended. Two, it smells of politicization. Because you are asking it at this time, there is a clear stink of politics behind this whole drama which is happening there. So that's my first point. Second, I feel that the demand of say for example, 10,000 rupees pension per month for all. Its pensions are very good. But tell me, in our country, apart from the central government employees, and that too, now we are gradually moving to the NPS from the old pension scheme.
Yes.
We are moving to the new pension scheme. We've been talking so much about it. It is fiscally bleeding the country, that those pensions. But anyway, so nobody gets pension. We've taken our Atal Pension Yojana. There is a new pension system scheme. I think when farmers getting 10,000 rupees, suddenly out of the blue, government comes out with this. Is it possible? And then withdrawal from WTO. I don't think farmers, other than subsidies, they understand the meaning of pulling out from WTO. Can you imagine the consequences? We'll be an isolated country. No country would like to trade with us. No export, no import. Imagine our major part of our import-export is going to disappear. Imagine $775 billion of export happening from this country. I mean, how can the farmers even ask? I think that where have the demands being framed from? You can ask for moon or sun. And a child asks the parent, I want moon right now. Now, where is the parent going to? He says, what am I going to do? What will I do for you? I can't get it for you. I can just express my helplessness. कि बेटा वो मैं तेरे लिए नहीं लाके दे सकता. मैं तेरे को प्यार बहुत करता हूँ. मैं बहुत प्यार करता हूँ तेरे को. पर तेरे को चांद लाके नहीं दे सकता हूँ. It is as simple as that, Devika. I think a very realistic view. I feel a solution midway is there. First step has been taken by the government. The farmers must be considerate of what the government has offered. They must come back and let the government know as to what do they want. Can they bulge? Can they agree to something in the middle? A committee can be formed. And I think my biggest point here is, and I think Savio would agree to that more than anybody else, is that had this government been anti-farmers ever in the last 10 years, if I count the schemes done for the government, I'll burn away the rest of the time of your show, Devika.
Yes.
Has the government been anti-farmer? Has the government been ignorant of farmers' interests? The answer is a big no. What I fail to understand is, why are the farmers sidelining all the good things which have been done to them, including PM Kisan Nidhi, which is direct benefit transfer of cash being deposited directly. छोड़ो सब कुछ यार, छोड़ो MSP, छोड़ो सब कुछ, ये लो पैसा लो तुम सीधा. और क्या कर सकते हैं? अब तो जान निकाल के दे सकते हैं. We are not that rich a country. I am sorry, Devika, to say this as an economist.
Okay, Gautam Mukherjee, your thoughts on the same as well then. I'd just like to understand, as Sharad pointed out, that somewhere then it does start stinking of a little bit of politicization, that where are these, some that you present demands that you perhaps know cannot be met, and then that becomes a political plank in itself. If these are leaders who claim to be not associated with any political party, with any political organization, or do not have any political demands or aspirations per se, which is what the SKM claims to be, that they want to be simply for the farmers, the first thought can't be a rejection of the proposal and saying that, listen, until and unless you actually implement the Swaminathan Commission's the strategy that it had come out with, we're not even going to take the talks forward with the centre beyond that point, because there must be some reason as to why government after government has not been able to implement that formula. As Sharad was also pointing out, that somewhere it may not be fiscally feasible.
Yeah, Devika, if you look at, Swaminathan was a great scientist and he helped India at a time when we were not making enough food. The Green Revolution took place largely because of him, and the Punjab farmers were the collaborators in his enterprise. But his proposal as such is totally pie in the sky. It makes very little economic sense that first you've got the basic costs, then you've got the labor costs, then you've got a 50%
the labor
margin
cost,
on
the
top of all
land
that.
cost.
Now, which trade takes place on this mollycoddling basis? It's jolly well impossible. And you know, Dr. Swaminathan was a great man, but this is not his province. And what he has gone and said might have made some sense in the 70s, except he didn't make it in the 70s. He made it much later. Now, coming back to this government offer saying that we'll buy the pulses. Pulses are being imported right now. Now, these people talk, the farmers, so-called, talk of diversification. Well, then diversify into something that will save us foreign exchange. We'll buy as much as you can produce at MSP, right?
Yes.
Now, the definition of MSP, which is what they want to change by inflating costs, will not only have a fiscal impact of tremendous degree that Sharad pointed out, but also inflate our costs of food and consequently inflation, and you know, it'll make a mess of it. This is like an internal debt trap. You know, the Chinese
And
come
Gautam Mukherjee,
along.
also the public distribution system will certainly be impacted.
You know, it's an internal debt trap. Do these people understand economics, or are they, you know, placing things on the table like a trade union, then sulking at the first instance, not understanding the language that is going on? I mean, you're negotiating with semi-literate people. It's a very tough call, and there is, in my opinion, no way they can get more and more subsidy on paddy and rice, which is what they're after. It is leading to the desertification of Punjab. It is Punjab that is behind all of this, as if they're the only farmers. That is not true. Are they producing the only food anymore? That is not true. So, you know, this cannot be agreed to. If they want to sell cotton, if they want to sell pulses, they're welcome. But no, I think they want to veer back into paddy and rice, which is unviable in the quantities that they want to produce, given the groundwater, given the irrigation, given the free electricity, given the lack of tax, given the Artiya's charging commission. It is a pampered mess and cannot be agreed to. But I think they just want to make a fuss now. They have, as I think Sharad also said, they picked a time in which very little can be done. Very soon now, the Election Commission is going to put a ban on all fresh activity, economic SOPs and so forth. And so this won't be implemented. Do they want to do Delhi Chalo? I hope to God they don't get past the Jammu border. There we go.
Okay. Sharad, then bringing you back into the conversation, I'd just like to understand from your perspective, given that it seems that the farmers this time around will also not be budging on their demands. We saw that last time around the government did in fact end up repealing the farm laws. Has the government then somewhere even set a precedent for itself in terms of its own method of negotiation, and also really explaining to the farmers what it means? Because, like I said, there's a lot being lost in translation here.
Yes, I totally agree, Devika, because, you know, precedents, they lead to actions in future. There's no doubt, which is why we call a precedent as a precedent for that matter. In fact, when this whole community left Punjab, Haryana, wherever they're coming from, you know, the common sentence was, भाई डालो अपना राशन सबके सब, अपना राशन पा लो तुसी, जब तक डिमांड नहीं होगी हम तो सड़क पे ही बैठेंगे. You know, so that is the mindset which is leading to this whole thing. So the mindset is to trouble people, to take people at ransom, not let children go to school, not let patients reach hospitals, don't let commuters reach their offices, don't let commuters reach their work, cause complete chaos on the road, and the government will come under pressure. People are going to cry. What is happening? The government is not doing anything, this and that, the farmers. I think this is the whole mindset. I personally feel that there is something wrong with the whole mindset. If this agitation could have been done peacefully, 4 or 5 farm leaders could have come to Delhi, met the agriculture minister, met the representatives, spoken to them that, look, this is where our problems are. So please allow us to put this proposal before you. This is what we want. I think that is the way to discuss. This is not going to lead to anything, because the way they have rejected the demands, Devika, in no time, for which something was to happen in 48 hours, happened in no time.
Exactly. As you were speaking, in the morning we were discussing, Sharad, the proposal, and suddenly 2 hours ago news comes in that it's been rejected.
Exactly. Now,
so it does seem that not a lot of thought has been applied to it.
This is going to lead to a showdown, Devika, now. Now, government will have to make sure that these people have to move from there, because you cannot tolerate this forever. So this is going to be a showdown now. These people have come prepared for a showdown, but at what cost?
Okay.
Look at the cost. You know, it's ridiculous. I mean, what is going to happen now is ridiculous. I mean, I'm dreading to imagine what's going to happen now, Devika.
Okay, so Bikram Pasi, bringing you back into the conversation, will an attempt then be made, at least by the Aam Aadmi Party that is in power and government, to become sort of a bridging gap between the centre and the farmers?
We are trying our best. Yes, we are trying our best. You know that our team minister, Mr. Bhagwant Mann, has attended all the 4 meetings, and even our concerned ministers were called there. But what is happening here?
But is an effort being made to really explain to the farmers, sir?
Every effort has been made to explain to the farmer as well as to the central government. And kindly, Mr. Kohli, you have stated so many things. Kindly listen one thing. Are farmers getting proper price of their crops? What are you saying? When in India the corporates has got such a big chunk of the economy, and then farmers are not. By the debt of the corporates have been NPA so many times.
Okay. Okay. Yes, very valid point. Okay, Bikram Pasi, very valid point. Very valid point.
Kindly be fair.
Okay, Bikram Pasi, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Mr. Narendra Modi, as a Gujarat Chief Minister and Chairman of a working group, had submitted a report to the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. It said that in order to protect the interest of the farmers, we must ensure through legal provisions that no transaction between farmer and trader should be done below MSP. Second thing, and listen me, 28 months have been passed. What Centre has done? Kindly compare the prices of the crops with the salary.
No NPA has been waived off.
Mr. Kohli, kindly listen.
That's wrong.
Chaos has been created by Haryana government.
Okay, Bikram Pasi. Bikram Pasi, has the MSP increased over the past few years, or has it decreased?
Devika, is it increased as per salary of the salaried people? Kindly see. Second thing, kindly have it. What our leaders have stated to the farmers. This Haryana government started shelling 315 bullets on these farmers. What farmers had? Tractors only. What are you doing? They were saying that we are going to protest peacefully. And we, the Punjab Aam Aadmi Party government, kindly suno.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm running out of time. Bikram Pasi.
Farmers are also Indian.
Okay, Bikram Pasi, no. Bikram Pasi, we don't do this here. This is not the channel to talk about the Indianness of farmers. I'm not even going there. Let's not do it. Let's not dilute the issue. No, I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow this narrative at all. I've given you time.
Have I interrupted anyone?
Bikram Pasi, you've made your point. You've said that farmers are not getting the price for the crops that they deserve, right? That's your basic point.
Second, what is happening in Sambhu border? I have seen
I've also seen, no, they're
what-
breaking
what
the
the hell?
barricades. I've also
No,
seen
no, no.
farmers are breaking
India,
the barricades.
what is
The
the-
moment they
what is
start
the-
doing, the moment they start engaging in these sort of activities, those videos start going viral, and that's when people start, and they don't want to then support the farmers and extend any sort of suggestion to the government when they see farmers indulging in violence at the borders. That's a basic point, and then that's probably something the Aam Aadmi Party should explain to the farmers. That please don't break the
we are
barricades.
explaining. No. We
Can
are
I
explaining
come in?
to
Okay,
farmers as
30
well as
seconds
the
to
central
Savio. I've
government.
completely run out of time. 30 seconds to Savio, then I need to wrap up.
Okay, so let me give my learned friend from the Aam Aadmi Party some statistics, since we are working on the book on the transformational policies. The first important statistics, as per the PM Kisan or the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, 2.95 lakh crore has been spent on the farmers by the Narendra Modi government. Let me go a little further.
500 per month
7.48
only.
crore
500 per
Kisan
month only
credit
to a
cards
farmer
have been
family.
distributed, and loans of 9 lakh crores by this government to the farmers. The agri credit has been raised to 20 lakh crores with focus on dairies. My friend, please come with statistics and talk to people like me.
Okay.
Don't come
My
with
friend,
rhetoric.
kindly listen to the report.
Okay,
come
okay,
to that.
okay. I've
Kindly give me 1
completely
minute
run out
only.
of time. I've
I see a lot of
completely run out of
arbitrary
time.
facts.
I've completely run out of
Kindly give me
time.
1 minute only.
The conclusion of the
Kindly
day
give me
has
1
been that the farmers have rejected the proposal by the centre. They've said that they will once again resume their protest, the Delhi Chalo protest. Hopefully, the centre will be able to make a breakthrough with the farmers and some sort of a fiscally feasible decision can be taken, which can be in the favor of farmers and in the favor of the economics of the nation as a whole.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.